I'm Brenda Spangru with Sorted Organize and Productivity. Thanks for joining me today. In my first video, I talked about the first part of the secret I discovered about creating organizing systems that worked for my clients. I call them the 3 successful system requirements. Through my years of organizing and creating systems, I learned these common factors were the key to successful solutions that I implemented for my clients. So let's review them. The 3 successful system requirements are: 1, the system needs to be easy to use; 2, the system needs to be convenient to use; and 3, you're committed to using it. But remember, the key factor in all 3 requirements is you. The system needs to be easy for you to use, convenient for you to use, and only then will you commit to using it. Now, there are not one-size-fits-all organizing solutions for your office. So let's take, for example, a great file system. Why is it that you can take the same system and implement it for 2 different people and get 2 different results? One may say that it's easy for them to use, and the other may say it's not easy for them to use at all. So why is that? Well, during my years of working with clients, I discovered that there are actually 3 different organizing personalities. Truth be known, we can probably overanalyze and come up with a lot more, but I'm going to keep it simple, I like simple, and boil it down to 3. You know, it's my belief that it's not you that can't be organized. It's the systems you're using that aren't supporting you. Put the right system into place, and it should be easy for you to commit to using it. Now, the right system accommodates your organizing personality. Could you imagine going into your office every day and it greets you with open arms, all organized and supportive of you? Could you imagine sitting at an orderly desk that inspired you to be productive? The truth is, if you had the right system in place, this could be your reality. You see, when you're trying to change a habit, the further your desired result is from your current behavior, the harder it is to commit to the required change in behavior, and the more likely you are to give up on making the change. It's really simple. It's like trying to quit something cold turkey. And of course, some people can do it that way and be successful with that approach, but more people are not. And this is what happens when you spend a weekend in your office cleaning it up and putting it back in order. What is actually going on is just housekeeping. You're just cleaning it up and putting it all away in the same place you always had. So if nothing changes, nothing will change. You've heard this before, right? So I actually had a client once that sent me a picture of her office. I felt so bad for her because she had piles all over the floor around her, things piled on her desk, stuff sticking out of every cubby there was. And she found herself just shoving things in whatever open place there was just to get things out of the way. And this continued until she was at a point that she couldn't even operate anymore. Can some of you relate to that? Well, we actually talked on the phone, and she decided that she wanted to try organizing her office one more time on her own. So she did just that. She spent her weekend cleaning it all up and putting it all away. So when Monday came, she proudly emailed me her pictures of her new clean office. And this is the good news of the story. Her office was actually clean. The bad news is that she found herself right back in the same place a month later because nothing had changed other than putting the things away. So yeah, her office was clean, but it wasn't organized into systems. She didn't establish new systems that actually accommodated her habits and organizing personality. If you see yourself in this story, I'm glad you're here with me today because I want you to learn a new way of organizing your paper. A new way of looking at your space so that you can finally be organized and live without paper piles once and for all. So how can you achieve this? By creating systems that accommodate your organizing personality and behavior. Not your wife's or your husband's personality, not your neighbor's personality, not your boss's personality or your cubby mate's, but your organizing personality. Being organized is a reflection of your behavior. Just like we talked about earlier, the farther away the change in behavior is from your current behavior, the harder it will be to establish the new behavior. So if the new and improved behavior you are wanting to establish is closer to your current behavior or habits, the easier it will be to commit to. And that's our step 3 of our system requirements, committing to the system. So translation, establish systems that are close to your current organizing personality behavior, and you'll be more likely to commit to using them. It's really that simple. So what are the 3 organizing personalities? Well, the first one I like to call the neatniks. Neatniks tend to crave a place for everything. They like things matchy-matchy with little black and white labels, and usually their desktop encounters are all clear, very clutter-free of random things just lying around. Now, neatniks crave a sense of order, but they can also get so busy putting things in order that they no longer get things done. They can be so thrown by disorder that they're big time wasters actually getting organized and getting ready, getting things perfect before they can get on with being productive. So instead of order serving them as a tool, it actually became a tyrant, and a time-sucking tyrant at that. So if you're a neatnik, you have to ask yourself, are you so invested in being organized that it's costing you? Most neatniks don't think they need help with systems, but they actually really do, because their systems are no longer tools. Instead, they hinder your productivity. So you can have a perfectly orderly, clean desk and be terribly unproductive. Order can be as dysfunctional as disorder can be. So the second type of organizing personality is what I call the drop and goes. Now, forget about trying to adhere to strict rules and systems. You're on to the next task before you even finish the first one. Now, things are just set down on the nearest counter or pile with the intention to deal with later. And this personality style likes things left out as a visual reminder of what they need to do. Forget about filing things away. To a drop and go, out of sight means out of mind. So of course what ends up happening then is that the piles accumulate. And in the end, there may be 3 piles on the kitchen counter, 2 in the office, another 2 in the hallway. Everything is getting done and nothing is getting done. So deadlines are getting missed, opportunities are being lost, all because things are getting lost in these piles. And finally, the third type is what I call the in-betweens. Now this is where I find a lot of my clients get stuck. In-betweens, like the neatniks, are drawn to the visual appeal of clear surfaces and the matchy-matchy accessories with labels. However, their time and lifestyle don't support the extra time it would take to manage a more detailed system. So you're constantly shoulding yourselves, telling yourselves that you should be more organized, even as you're dropping stuff into the piles. And you feel guilty about that. Then they may organize the piles and create a system that's very neatnik-like, only to find themselves that once again dropping everything into the piles because they can't accommodate the detailed neatnik system. And the back and forth never settles into a productive system. This takes a lot of mental energy and is never ever productive. So what I know to be true is if I create a neatnik type of system for a drop and go personality, I'm setting them up for failure. And that's what happens with you when you clean your office and put these specific systems in place that aren't accommodating your drop and go personality. It's just not going to work. And I see this over and over again with my clients who have done just that to themselves. Everyone is unique, every one of you. Each of us has different personalities and different needs. Different things go on depending on our businesses within our office. An effective system is one that's simply uniquely suited to you. You are the user. Now, my clients who have struggled with paper piles have always fallen within the drop and go or in-between personality types. And I found myself creating the same system over and over for them. And each and every time it worked. It's so cool. Now, these personality types are very visual. They prefer to have things laid out to remind them on the tasks that they need to do. And let me tell you, creating a great file system is not the answer for a drop and go personality type. So what I developed a unique and creative way to accommodate the paper flow for these drop and go personality types. And I'd love to share this system with you. If I could, I'd meet each and every one of you and walk you step by step through this process so you can achieve the same amazing and transformational results that my other clients have experienced. But because of distance or time, I know that's not always possible. And this information needs to be shared. I'd love for you to have it. You need to know these solutions. So in my next video, I'll tell you about how you can get exactly that. So be sure to tune into video number 3. Until we meet again, I'm Brenda Spangrud, wishing you an organized and productive day.